change of format today. We're mobile streaming and we're going into nature. So just something. Wonder if anyone will actually join. That'd be good. Can I turn the camera? Yes, I can. Oh, hang on a minute. I just went through a gate and the gate swung back on me and nearly took my trainer off on me. Hi, Vegan Gates. How you doing, Annie? You'll be able to join me on my morning nature rambles soon. Who else have we got? Good Eeps in there. Good morning to you. And good old Michael Askew. Oh, God, there's loads of cobwebs across the path. I'm going to get spiders in my face. Whose stupid idea was this? Luke Forsey's in the house. Morning to you, my friend. Thanks for joining. Just to make it happen. I've booked a table at that restaurant on Saturday. I'm going to have a good old chat with my friends there for you. See if we can get you a job there. Plant-based Powered's in the house. NGP. Let's switch the camera around so you can see the nature in case you've come for the nature. That's all very nice. Oh, but then lots of stuff. You may have heard some of this before, but it's important to get into nature. It's good for our gut microbiome. Just being among, the trees and etc. We're just breathing in bacteria which are great for our gut. That's huge. If you imagine, we evolved in woods. We evolved among trees. The trees also give off oils into the air that we breathe in. And these, what do they do? Yeah, they help us to produce natural killer cells. So they fight cancer. So just by being here and breathing this in, I'm less carcinogenic. And then the greens and the blues of nature, the fractal patterns, they all lower our cortisol. They all lower our stress hormones, make us feel better. The greys, the straight lines of urban living, they raise our stress. So it's really good to get into nature a little bit. Let me see if I've missed any questions or comments. Andy's golf it. Morning, Hench. Hope you don't use up all your 4G. I might do. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Vegan Ace. Has Boris broken Britain? Sounds awful over there, trying to take over. I don't know. I'm all right. I don't really listen to the news, so it doesn't affect me. Right, what way am I going? I'll take you into the little valley. Real things in the house. Good to see you. Oh, Angharad is here. Good morning, everyone, from my mum and I. Very good. Andy's got it. Don't forget to rub the odd trunk. Okay, I will. Hang on. Is a suspect. Is a lovely looking suspect. I'll draw the line at licking trees, so I shan't be licking any trees. And let's show you the view. So we're just coming into a little sort of valley, which is pretty cool. I love it. Azure Duckfire looks like a great place for a mushroom adventure. I not flipped the camera around. I meant to flip the camera around. What do you mean by a mushroom adventure? Do you mean foraging? Foraging for edible mushrooms? What have we got around here? Some little flowers. Some lovely stinging nettles. I remember these things Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Right, definitely don't go that way in future. Right, hopefully we keep the signal. I don't think that would be an issue though, would you? I did consider that actually. Actually, going to, because I didn't want to. You don't want to bump into people when you're doing that sort of thing. I won't go on about that today. There's some more flowers and that. Bit of bird poo. You get some good animals over here sometimes. We were sort of hanging out with this raven, really big raven. He or she was great. Hang on, I've just got to traverse this fence without poking myself. Oh! What else have we seen? There's loads of squirrels over here. Tons of squirrels, some really interesting birds. Oh, and there's a fox I'll show you in a bit. He's a bit lethargic though, the fox. What else have they got? This little pond thing. So they tell you like what all the things are. Saw a newt there the other day, a little newt. That was pretty cool. Vegemite Codbod, good to see you, brother. Real things in the house. Can't read that. Morris Music Pete. Looks like a good morning. You're not going to the woods, Hench. Chucking it down in Durham this morning. Have a good day. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, we're having a lovely day so far. Oh, I'll show you my friend the eagle. He always hangs about over here. His friends have been pooing on him though. What do you reckon? He's pretty cool, isn't he? Here's a couple of sort of carvings around and about. Azure Dark Fire, mushroom forage, and also magic mushroom tea. I think mushrooms are really special. All the different mushrooms. We have much more in common with them, or they have much more in common with us than they do with plants, believe it or not, by way of DNA. And I think there's some synergy to be had between humans and fungi, or fungi. You can pronounce it either way. Apparently, so Paul Stamets says. And he's got a hat made out of mushrooms, so he knows it. Oh, there's some interesting mushrooms here, actually. That's good, isn't it? So, anyway, he's saying stuff. So I'm just trying to traverse some sticks and not get my eyes poked out. Andy's golf it. If there's a suitable branch like Derek of Sim Nutrition, will you do some chin-ups, pull-ups? Oh, I just hit my head. Come to think, ever considered full-on calisthenics like rings, handstands, human rags, muscle-ups? Now, I'm the wrong kind of body type for calisthenics, really. I have quite a poor strength to body weight ratio, so I've never enjoyed calisthenics, to be honest. Yeah, ravens are super smart, Michael. Yeah, you could see he was intelligent. You could see it. Brian Catherine's in the house. Seeing through. It's daytime there, 1 a.m. here. Oh, hello. There's a dog-a-log. Hey. I nearly got run over. I forget what time it is, and I don't have access to my watch, but my clock. I think it's around 9 or 10. I don't really know. There you go. It's 9, around 9. Goat's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you caught the stream. Just going to get a bit deeper into the woods here. Mark's here, Vegan Mooncat. Subscribe to him. It's great stuff. Just doing my morning nature walk. I thought I'd bring you guys along. I forgot you can do YouTube live. I did a Instagram live the other day, but that didn't save. That was annoying. Vegetarian Cardboard. Hey Hench, are you on some mission right now? So most days, it don't happen every day, but most days I try to get into nature now. I was saying at the start of the stream, there's some really great science on how, in order to be optimally well, we need to be among the woods, like where we evolved. You're breathing in these oils that the trees give off. You're seeing the colours, the patterns. And these all set us up, like they lower our stress hormones, boost our immune function. Specifically, like it benefits our gut microbiome. So, yeah, historically, I've been go, weights, sprints, like just hard training, high octane stuff. And I've really learned, like, you really do need a good balance in life. And so I'm taking more time to unwind as well and to relax. And that's really important. The Sherzais talk about this in their book, The 30-Day Alzheimer's Solution. They have this acronym, NEURO, N-E-U-R-O. I forget probably which they all are. It's like nutrition, exercise, unwind, recovery, optimize. I remembered them all. I can't remember what the optimize thing is though. But I remember the titles at least. But yeah, it's important to unwind for our health. You generally live longer and happier and healthier if you're not constantly like stressed out and just working your ass off, which is something I've been prone to do. So yeah, so this is not a daily practice, but I'd say probably 5 days a week I managed to get into the woods. I really enjoy it. I really value it now. Right, so I've missed, I lost where we were. Peter Madsen. Yeah, my man, thanks for your work and input. Really appreciate you. Aren't you lovely? I really appreciate you for saying that, my friend. That's very kind. Rebel Calder, where is this? Where are you now? This is called Catton Park. It's just a stone's throw from my house, about not even a 10-minute walk. And yeah, it's like a big, kind of a dog park, really. I mean, there's a picnic area and there's a bit of little bits for kids, not a whole lot. But there's a big woods like all around the outside. So I tend to just go round the outside. Yeah, just soak up the nature, breathe in the, as I say, the oils from the trees. Sometimes meditate in the middle there in the park. One day I was meditating, I was really deep into it, and a dog just like jumped up me. He had his paws on my legs, and he was all up in my grill, and it was beautiful. Like, he was so keen to meet me. That was really fun, and his owners were like laughing. We had a really good chat, had some good banter. So yeah, I didn't mind being interrupted that one time, but don't make a habit of it, everyone. MSMD, good morning, Mr. Hench. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there? And how's veganism treating you? That's what I want to know. Well, I hope. Richard Benham's in the house. Oh, no, not work. I guess I'm working now, technically. I don't feel like work, though. I'm the luckiest man. Rebel Code, I can't wait to meet you and your partner at the vegan camp out in August. We've just got our tickets, and yeah, we can't wait to meet you either. If anyone wants to like meet up, I mean, obviously I'll be walking around and I want to meet each and every one of you. Like, come up to me and say hi, and we'll have a socially distanced hug or something. I don't know how you do that, but yeah, I love to meet everyone. But there's a Facebook group which I never used. Someone set it up about 3 years ago. I never really used it. I think it's called Hench Hangout. If you want to ask to be accepted there, I'll add you to the group, and we can like liaise on there, and then over the weekend perhaps we can meet up once or twice. You know, you're all welcome to come and hang with us as much as you want. If we get sort of separated or whatever, we'll just program 1 or 2 times each day where we'll all meet up, so we can all just chill. Because that's my favourite thing about the YouTube stuff. It's just making loads of friends, and yeah. Normally it's sort of numbers on a screen, or I mean, obviously we chat, you know, we chat online, but it's not the same as being in person. Like, that's really beautiful. I really love to meet everyone, so that would be great. I think we've got some cool flowers coming up. What sort of flowers are these? Comment below. I don't know anything about flowers, if I'm honest. Andy's golfer. I think your summer goal should be a handstand to get Gemma to help you. No, I don't think it should be. I know where I'm well off and where my energies are best directed. The coin pursuit. Hi Paul, do you recommend any vegan nutritionists for fitness gym goals? Nutritionists, no, but I normally palm people off on Corinne Sutton. He's on their Instagram at Corinne Sutton, and I don't know if he's a nutritionist as such. He's a great PT. I would imagine that he seems to really know his stuff. He's a really cool guy, actually. So, what's this? It's a house. There's a garden path and a house. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, there's even a chair in there. Look at that. Very cool. I'd get in that if I was about 1/10 of my size. It's quite hard to look for comments and questions and navigate these branches. Oh. Vegemite cod bod, yeah, it feels absolutely wonderful to be able to do this on sunny mornings. It sure does. Set you up for the day. Oh God, what's he getting in a flap about? Great, that's why I want to live close to the woods. I want to be able to do this. Yeah, I'm pretty quite near the city centre, really. But just luckily, there's this one little sort of green spot. There's a really loud woodpecker over here somewhere. So loud, I don't know how he doesn't do his head in. But I've yet to find him. I've been trying to find him. Right, that's a dead end. Right, back the other way. Sorry guys, I've really lost where I was. Here we go. Burning cornflakes in the house. Good to see you. Lara, awesome. Click this immediately to take you with me, listen to you on my own walk in the sunshine in Germany. Guten Morgen. What am I doing? I'm walking through the thickets. This is stupid. I should really look where I'm going more. Hang on. Let's just get out of this. Thorns. Right, we're on the path now. It's got to be better, he says, tripping over. 6 is in the US. Vegan scene is awesome. Whereabouts? Whereabouts are you? Lee Ballantyne, morning mate. Been vegan for almost 3 years now. Also going to vegan camp out. Come and say hello. That'd be great to meet you. And congrats on your 3 years. Mincat, Butter is going to handcuff herself to you so she can hang all day. I don't mind that one little bit. I love that little girl. She's brilliant. Shield Maid and Samantha's in the house. Good to see you. Owen, hi Herbie. What's your protein recommendations for someone cutting 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight? The reason I say that is most of the science has been done on athletes and it's done on total body weight. So obviously fat is inert tissue, so you don't need, say you had an extra 50 pounds of fat over what the athlete had, well, you don't need to eat protein, to fuel your fat there. So I think 10-15% body fat. Imagine you were 10 or 15% body fat. I'd say 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. And then, say you had 10% more body fat from that, above that, well, then you drop off 10% from your total body weight, drop off 10% of the protein. Does that make sense? I don't know how well I'm explaining it. Let me know if you need clarification. So that's the end of the woods on this side. And then we're going to go around the top of the park. We're going to meet my little fox friend. And then we'll rejoin this woods on the other side of the park. So I'll show you this tree as well. How cool is this tree? It's huge. I don't really do it justice on here. It's really like towering above me. I love it. Anyway, we'll go around the pavement here. It's good as well before, depending on your schedule and where you are in the world, but for an average person, it's good to get as much natural light as you can in your eyes by about 9 a.m. By about 9. It depends on your schedule though. But if you're kind of roughly in line with the circadian rhythm, if you get up, around sun up and you go to bed around sundown or after sundown, you want to get as much natural light in your eyes as you can before about 9 a.m. and that really instructs your cortisol to although it's a stress hormone, we want some cortisol, and that's what wakes us up actually. So yeah, this is another reason to get out into nature in the morning. The sunlight, because of the what I call the solar angle, particularly that first hour of sunrise, they're hitting your photoreceptors, and that's really telling your brain, right, wake up, it's daytime, like action. And then apparently of an evening, if you do the same thing with the sunset, of course there's a similar solar angle, the second time that happens, that tells your brain actually to turn down the sensitivity of the photoreceptors in your eyes. So then, you shouldn't really get screens and stuff at night, like light into your eyes, but it will be less detrimental to you if you saw the sunset, because the second time that happens to you on your eyes, that tells your brain, it's time to turn those down so we can help to make melanin, to help us to sleep. And so if you're a shift worker, if you work nights, one tactic, if you can get up, or if you can get up at sunset and get the light in your eyes then, that will tell your brain actually, it's morning, like it's sunrise, like wake up, like get your hit of cortisol, wake you up. So there's a little trick for you. Oh, thanks, Mincat. I totally walked past him. Basil Brush. That was some weird stuff, wasn't it? For people who don't know, Basil Brush was a kiddies TV show. He was sort of a puppet. He was a fox, Basil Brush, like a fox's tail is called a brush. But he wore a hunting jacket. So was he like a sadist or a cannibal? I really don't know. That was some weird stuff. Really weird. Anyway, let's show you my foxy friend. Here he is. I walked past him so many times before I saw him. I wondered if he was like newly carved, but you can see he's been there for years. How cool is he? I love him. I really love him. I'm getting a bit hot. Right, where were we? And it's called for bluebells. They're due to sprout out there. I thought they were bluebells. They were just slight, because they got a slight purpley hue, sort of more like violet. I just wondered if I was mistaken. We've actually got a bluebell road in Norwich, but it's just littered with them around this time of year. So yeah, I guess that's them. Retro, what's your opinion on coconut sugar as a replacement for refined sugar? It'll still give you Alzheimer's disease, like worse than any other thing you can eat, really. Yeah, it's not healthy. Anything devoid of fibre is going to be really hurting you, setting you up for disease, particularly Alzheimer's. According to the latest science, the number one thing you want to eat if you want to give yourself Alzheimer's disease, which is one of the fastest growing leading causes of death, is free sugar. So yeah, refined sugar, coconut sugar, honey, agave, maple syrup, all of these. Yeah, it's apparently the worst thing for Alzheimer's. So, it's lower glycemic index than table sugar. It might have like a couple of nutrients in there, but it's going to be nutritionally bereft relative to, like a whole plant food. The sweeteners I use basically is really dates. So, I'll put dates into a smoothie or to porridge, any dried fruit in a porridge, but that'll give you the sweetness, but it's got the fibre, it's got the phytochemicals. I'll use date syrup in recipes like baking and stuff. So that's dates whizzed up with water. So again, you've got the fibre. And sometimes in baking, we'll use date sugar, which is whole dates. They've been superheated, really super dried out and then pulverized. So it looks like a brown sugar, but again, it is just like a whole food. It's got the fibre intact. Yeah, that's about it. But it doesn't act like a sugar because it's got the fibre. But of course, then it doesn't dissolve. So you can't use it like a granulated sugar. So that's like the downside. But yeah, if you want to live the longest, happiest, healthiest life, stick to whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. And the more you deviate from that, the more free sugars, the more free oils, the more animal products, processed, even plant foods, but that have been processed, packaged with additives. You're not going to live as long and happily and healthily, as if you stick to the whole plant food. So I say avoid all of them, particularly because of the studies coming out proving how they drive Alzheimer's disease. That's a horrible disease. You've lost the person before they're gone. You may have to care for them and they're like an invalid. You're like wiping their ass. Or if you get it, you don't know what's going on. You're terrified. You're going to be really anxious, terrified, confused. It's a crappy end to your life, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So no, I wouldn't be eating coconut sugar personally. I ate it in the past when I didn't know better. I'd never eat it now. The only time I would eat refined sugar is if someone put a gun to my head. Yeah, I think it's that serious. I use an octopus as a sword. Well, it's night time for me, so it's weird seeing you live in the daytime. Yeah, it's morning for me. I'm having a lovely time. Yeah, that is a good carving, isn't it, Michael? Hey, Robert Pacino, good to see you. Laura Griffiths as well, as always. Stacey Langley, hi guys. This nice, looks lovely where you are. Yeah, we're so blessed. This is basically like a big old park that we've got on our doorstep, and there's some woods, lots of animals, lots of lovely people walking their dogs, and yeah, come over here to meditate sometimes as well. It's all love. Some of these flowers, whatever they are. When we came over here recently, they're gone now, but there was a real strong smell of onions. And yeah, these long thin leaves. I think it was wild garlic. So yeah, that was morning. So that was interesting. Right, I can't read any of this because I've got the sun on the screen. Oh yeah, here we go. Massive ears like Jeff. I'm not sure what this means. It's just to look at. I don't think that's from me. Hi Timo, good to see you, my friend. Laura, do Viva Life sell magnesium and potassium to make sports drinks? No. The best place for that sort of thing would be bulk powders, somewhere like that. My protein. Wild garlic is epic, eat the green leaves. I would have done, but because it's in a dog park, I thought that might be covered in urine, so I thought better of it. Let's do a little sweep of the landscape. Have you noticed how trees are like, what you can see above the ground there, it's probably similar underground with the roots. I sometimes sort of trip out a bit and imagine a giant sort of got the tree and pulled it out and shoved it upside down when the leaves have come off. Just looks like their root system to me. I might be crazy though. I have done quite a lot of hallucinogens. Look at this house. This epic house. Huge sort of orangery there. Don't know what that's all about. If that's a house or some sort of institute or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm on about. Don't know if it's some kind of business now. Hey Eliza, nice to see you. Yes, lovely, isn't it? We're very, very lucky. Where were we? We hold the camera up a bit so you can see where we're going. Thomas Doherty, I'm loving the bird sounds. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, me too. Yeah, like I say, I sometimes come over here and meditate, and I enjoy that too. Like the warm sun, the light little breeze. Yeah, it's very relaxing. The Inks Boots. The Inks Boots. Hey, yo, Hench, what's up? Favourite potassium source for someone your size? Honest opinion or thanks, appreciate it. To be honest, I say this a lot about most nutrients, really. It's not something that I've ever considered. I just, I eat adequate calories. I'm eating a whole foods plant-based diet, by and large. I have a couple of processed proteins like things. But if you're getting enough calories from legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, you want some herbs and spices in there as well. Those kind of nutrients, they just take care of themselves. They're just so ubiquitous throughout the plant kingdom. If you're eating a junkier diet, yeah, you might come up short on one or two things, and then, you may need to use an app such as Chronometer, see which things you're shorter on, do a little research. I mean, if you hover over the nutrient chronometer will tell you where you're getting like the most of that from, so you can either eat more of that food, or ideally, I mean, you want to rotate your foods around, so obviously you just research, just Google list of highest protein containing plant foods or whatever. But honestly, the only nutrients people tend to struggle with more with a whole foods plant-based diet of adequate calories and enough range. I mean, vitamin D obviously, B12 obviously, zinc can be one, vitamin E can be one. It's not that you can't get these things, but you just have to take a care to eat 2 or 3 servings of just certain foods. You know, for vitamin E, you've got wheat germ is the highest, like wheat germ, sunflower seeds, almonds, blackberries, dried apricots, sweet potato, butternut squash, red peppers. You know, if you don't eat 2 or 3 servings of these particular foods today, obviously there's others as well. Mango, I don't know if I mentioned. Tomatoes are particularly good as well. A can of tomatoes has got a good weight. But if you don't eat 2 or 3 servings of those types of foods per day, your vitamin E may come up low. So yeah, zinc's another one. But things like iron, you know, I tend to like 3 or 4x the amount of iron without looking, without eating any specific foods, just eating some legumes, some whole grains, some nuts, some seeds, you know, and your herbs and spices. So yeah, I believe it's a non-issue unless you're eating a crappy diet, in which case making sure you've got enough potassium is probably the least of your worries, to be honest. You know, if you're eating a poor diet, you're getting things that can harm you, you know, things that lead to the top 14 out of the 15 leading causes of death, other than accidents, are a result of the things that we put into our bodies. But also, not only that, but you're then displacing good things with nutrients. So you're putting in bad things, you're putting in less good things. The more you do that, like, the less you can expect to have a long, happy, healthy life. And it's not worth it. Like, I've been eating healthily now for 9.5 years. I don't miss any junk food. I never think about it. I eat a good range of foods. I enjoy the taste of the foods now because my taste buds are not like overpowered with hyper palatable foods. So I enjoy real food, you know, as it's grown in nature, and I just feel so well. And you know, why would I then eat a load of donuts and drink some fizzy drink and eat some crisps, feel like dirt, and know, okay, I just had a load of sugar, like, now more likely I'm going to get Alzheimer's disease and be confused and scared, and that's no way to end your life, is it? Do you know what I mean? You start your life as a kind of invalid, and you have to have people care for you to survive. Do you really want to finish your life like that as well? It's not just the fact that you can die sooner, but it's lives are actually longer now because they're being extended with artificial, unnatural intervention, you know, medicines. And so you have loads of years of misery, like, and so many people like are living that way, and it's too late by then, you know. Sometimes you'll get a health scare, and they call that a teachable moment, and then we'll change your habits because, you know, we see, there's things about heart disease, heart attacks and stroke. That can actually happen to me. I'm not the centre of the universe, actually. And oftentimes people change, and our bodies are miraculous, and they can, you know, they can heal if we only get out of our own way. But maybe it's too late. Oftentimes your first warning that you've got heart disease is that you drop down dead of a heart attack. So, and then there's all the pain of your loved ones. So what I'm saying to you guys is, don't be having these junk foods, and do be having these healthy foods. Learn to enjoy them. It don't take long, 2 or 3 weeks, you know, and not hitting your taste buds with salt, oil, sugar. You'll enjoy real foods, and you won't regret it. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. Don't know why I'm standing on a soapbox in the woods. Who's saying stuff? Little butterfly. Is he going to stay still long enough now? Timo, the trees are alive. I first saw that. I saw it first time on mushrooms. No, I cannot unsee it. Yeah, I would really like to get into a woods during an experience. And some of my friends said that they all saw like the mechanism of like trees pulling water up, because we don't even know how they do it, do we? We don't know how trees pull water up into the leaves. Like they haven't got a pump, but they said like they could see that all happening. And yeah. Where were we? Sorry guys, I've lost, hi Grumpy Vegan Grandad, I've lost where I was. It's really hard to keep in line with this chat. Owen Samuel. Do you know, I read that as Owen Samurai because it's so little and the screen's moving. That's how my mind works. Do you still practice any martial arts? No. I did like a power slap on this bag a couple of days ago as an Instagram post. That's the first time I've hit anything for months or years, I think. I kind of thought that, you know, in my earlier life, I was sort of scared of conflict, so I did martial arts every day. I did so much of it for years and years and years. So I lived that life, and then I got like injured, and I was repairing, and I just put more time into physique training, and then I got on better with that. And I just thought this is a better use of me in terms of animal advocacy. Obviously, if you concentrate on too many things, your energy, your resources are scattered, and you're going to be jack of all trades, master of none. So I thought, well, yeah, I'll focus on this now. I'm not scared of getting in fights. I don't suppose I'll get in fights because I've changed my energy. And yeah, I do love martial arts, but yeah, I don't put any time into it now. In Samurai, this is jumped again. Every time the text goes off the screen, it jumps to the end, so that's annoying. Where were we? Let me flip this round so you can have some better scenery than my ugly mug. Here we go. Laura, I had a full blood count last week. Everything was bang on, smashed it, training for half marathon. Well done, Laura, that's brilliant. Well done, you. I'm guessing you're eating a very healthy diet there. Andy's golf it. Trees communicate with other trees, especially their offspring, even passing on nutrients in times of need. Yeah, mycelium in the ground from mushrooms, fungi, driven by radioactive isotope. Yeah, I understand that mycelium are kind of farmers, but they work on such a long time scale, like centuries, that we can't really see what they're doing. But apparently that, yeah, you're right, that is meant to be a thing. You're welcome, Laura. Yinks boots. Thanks, that's a nice answer. Opinion on calorie counting, protein intake count, what you can do without it if you eat plant-based, mostly healthy, of course. Well, if you're guessing, if you're an athlete and you've got to make weight, or you're trying to build muscle, lose fat, and you want to do it optimally and not get overly fat when you're trying to put muscle on, or not lose weight too quickly and F up and hurt your metabolism when you're cutting, you do need to count. Unless you happen to guess the right amount of calories. And you just eat kind of that volume, but sooner or later your needs will change as your size changes. So no, I would disagree with that. For an average person who's just trying to sort of maintain, I think a whole foods plant-based diet, on average actually, you tend to lose a pound of fat per week. And over time that would equate to a pound of, if you got lean enough, you'd be dropping muscle. So yeah, I recommend calorie counting for the masses, but if you've not got any particular goals and you're not an athlete, it probably don't matter too much. Yeah, that's true. So it's one of those diets where your body kind of looks after itself, kind of thing almost. I think it sort of almost auto-regulates, almost, and I think the reason being that it is our species specific, in terms of biology, it's our ideal diet. You know, I think naturally it's what we would more easily eat. If you're in the tropics now, you know, animals tend to get away when we try to harvest them because they don't like pain and they feel fear. But, you know, we haven't got fangs, we haven't got claws. Yeah, we can make weapons, but that's new technology. But that's not how we originally evolved. Evolution takes so long to change. If we were evolved to eat meat, it wouldn't be the #1 cause of our death. Do you know what I mean? And so what is available? We've got trichromatic vision, so we can see when fruit is red and ripe and ready to eat. We can see when leaves are lush and the most nutrient rich. We can pick plants. We can dig up tubers. We discovered fire 2 million years ago, so we can cook tubers. So some people are saying that eating of meat accelerated our brain growth. Well, the cleverest thing we did was to make tools like weapons to hunt with. So how can you do that before the fact? Do you see how that works? So Richard Wrangham of Harvard University, he postulates that it was the cooking of starches that accelerated our brain growth. We could have like a massive abundance of calories, and then we weren't just surviving, we were thriving. And then our intellects grew from there. So it makes more sense if you think about it. Right. Sorry, of course I've lost where I was again. I wonder if I just hold my thumb on the screen, that might work. Right, here we go. Roughly, what's the max B12 and B6 you can have? Because before B12 and B6, it can, in my vegan protein shakes, but then I have to take a multivitamin and add them into. So B vitamins are water soluble, but I wouldn't be putting in multis. I really wouldn't. Put in a B12. You should be getting your nutrients from your food, and if you're not, you're shotgunning loads of individual nutrients, but they may not be in balance, and you're just getting like a certain amount, but you're displacing real food, which has possibly like hundreds of thousands of nutrients, most of which we've not discovered, and we don't know how they work. We don't know how they work in synergy. I wouldn't be taking synthetics. B vitamins, they're water soluble, so they shouldn't hurt you, but you shouldn't be taking multis. You really shouldn't. If you look at the data of like multivitamins, not that you're taking them. Oh no, you did say you're taking the multi. Yeah, if you look at the data, if you look at meta-analysis, so we pulled together all the studies, most studies found no benefit to health or longevity from taking a multivitamin, versus if you look at like a whole food plant-based diet, loads of legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, their health potential is immense. Where was I then going with that? Let me just meditate on that for a minute. Oh yeah, so most studies found no benefit. A couple of studies found some benefit here and there, but a lot of studies found detriment. It's actually likely, if anything, more harmful to take a multi than to not. I suppose like if you are eating a horrible diet with no nutrients, then I don't know, maybe there's a case to be said for it, but it's gonna, a healthy diet of real food with real nutrients is going to be exponentially just thousands of times better. I really wouldn't be taking a multi. Yeah. Right, so I didn't lose my place that time, so that's lesson learned. Keep my thumb on the screen. Vegemite cardboard, random fact, there's no centre of the universe. How do you know? Go on where you meant to be expanding. There's a central point that we're expanding from. Anyway, I know you were just joshing about because I said that thing earlier. It's a good, yeah, you may well be right. I can't prove either way. Thomas, so true. When I was in my late 20s and early 30s, I had very high blood pressure. I switched to mostly healthy plant-based. Now blood pressure is healthy. Nice. Samir, not all oils are bad. Well, if a random person on the internet is telling me no oils are bad, not all oils are bad, with nothing to back it up, they've got to be true, and I've got to just take them at their word. I'm being facetious, of course. Viral videos, because a lot of people try veganism for low energy. That's not for me. Neil Whaling, sugar is built on slavery and still enslaves to this day. That wouldn't surprise me. Vegan milk out, I love spicy food in the morning, wakes me up nicely. Yeah, I love a bit of spicy food anytime. I'll tell you what really wakes me up is a cold shower. Cold shower, and then I try to get on my doorstep for 10 minutes if I can and get the sunlight into my eyes. And yeah, that's really good. The ink spoot, I feel it's stupid because calories are not always a calorie. It's very hard to know exactly how much your body uses and vary on a daily basis. It will vary on a daily basis, but probably not to a huge degree unless you're like an endurance athlete and you're doing like a mad event or something. You know, from my perspective, yeah, there's variability in your food. Like maybe your scales aren't that accurate. Yeah, your needs will change at least a little bit, but they'll often average out over the course of a week. And if, you know, other than that, like, so yeah, you're a little bit shooting in the dark. But having said that, I track mine and I tend to put on weight and drop weight as and when I want to. So it seems to work. But if you're not tracking anything, like then you've got no hope. It's just random whether you happen to get it right. But if you're an average person with average needs and you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, you should end up with a reasonable physique. You know, you shouldn't be overweight. Owen Samurai's going to change his name. Viral videos, or no, because the calories from food are the same. The thermic effect some foods can help you burn more or less calories digesting the food, but there's not a way to accurately calculate for that. So my thing is, I have a certain amount of calories and I'll tweak it weekly until I get the result I want, and I'll keep with that. And once that changes, I'll up or down my calories relative to that. You know, you're not going to be accurate, but I'm near enough that I kind of get the effect I want from my body. But yeah, it is calories in, calories out, but calories are not just calories, and certain calories will work differently in your body. And then, like, you have to consider, say you're eating a tablespoon of nuts, or that same nuts, but a tablespoon of nut butter. If it was calorie for calorie, you'll get 20% more calories from the butter, because more of the particles will get into the bloodstream through the wall of the small intestine, because they're not too big to pass. But when we chew things, we tend to have like larger pieces in there, however well you chew. I mean, I suppose if you spend all day on one tablespoon, you're going to definitely absorb all of it. But yeah, just more of it can pass through and you poo it out without absorbing it. So yeah, it's not an exact science, but it's better than nothing. And for me, it works, you know, it works. I can put on weight and lose weight, you know, roughly as quick as I want. Sometimes it'll be slightly out from what I intended, but then the next week I'll tweak my calories up or down that little bit, and it tends to be right, you know. I need to be watching out for dog poo. Laura, thanks Hench, I do eat super clean, to be honest. Good girl, I love it. I don't know if that was for me, but thank you, Owen Samurai, if that was. Thanks, right, yeah, I thought that's what you were saying. Vegan Pixie Warrior, subscribe to her. She's a lovely lass. Good morning to you, thanks for joining. And it's Golfit. Did you eat breakfast before going out on your lovely sunny walk, or fasting till you get home? Overdoing intermittent fasting, like 12 till 8. So, yeah, I had my breakfast. So, well, yeah, I do fast. I tend to eat about 6 a.m. and I tend to have my last meal definitely by 6 p.m. So I do at least a 12-hour window. It sometimes might be 13 or 14 hours, depending. But I believe in eating early on. The earlier in the day that you get your calories in, the less of a detrimental effect they'll have in the body. And then there's that science of, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. That's been like age-old wisdom, but we didn't know whether there was any validity to it. I mean, it seems to make sense. But actually, our cells, we found out by chronobiology, that, indeed, we burn calories faster earlier in the day and slower later in the day. So 1,000 calories at bedtime will have a much different effect in your body than the same calories in the morning time. And it's not just the fact that you're not burning them off because you've gone to bed. They are worth more, if you see what I mean, because of the way our bodies work. So, yes, I fast, but I fast from 4, 5 or 6 in the evening until about 6 a.m. the next day. And that's hugely helpful. It's good for the gut microbiome. What else does it do? We get that hormesis effect where that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So the fact that you're going without food, that is kind of a stress on the body, but it's the good kind of stress. It doesn't stretch you so far that you break, but it actually invites your body to turn inwards and start to heal. And you can undo DNA damage and potentially not succumb to cancers that you would have done. So, I'm really pleased to be adding this in now. Right. I took my thumb off the screen. I'll get the hang of this sooner or later. Right, sorry guys, I've got lost. Oh God, I'm miles behind. Here we go. The ink spirits, can you be sure about it? Caffeine isn't good enough for us if you want to get...